Welcome back. Day 8. Can you guess what we are talking about? We are talking about bling, shiny things, adding a bit of glitz on a page. As you can see, with me just pulling some things out of my stash, I love gold. Not glitter so much, but gold, metallics, shimmer sprays, anything with a bit of shine really does it for me. So I'm going to go through some of the products, some more accessible than others, some easier to use than others, and just discuss what adding a bit of shine does, what function it has on a page for those who are wary, skrikkerig for a bit of shine. Despite my Midas Touch selection here, you will see I go towards the warmer metallics, the coppers and golds, but absolutely silver, pewter, all of those, also metallics. Coloured shiny things like these gemmy beads, pearls, the pearlescents all count as bling, so a matte bling. Inks, sprays, fabrics, something like this is, there's just this tiniest thread running through a plain cotton thread. So you don't have to go all out to add a little bit of luxury and a little bit of opulence to the page, and also something like a burlap ribbon with a bit of gold. The juxtaposition of the very matte, very natural thing with the gold adds a lot of interest. In terms of the actual journaling prompt, which is a bit of bling, I'm going to go with, this is from the pack, it's a damask print, the green I like, green and gold, Christmassy, but also quite a classic combination if you think of uniforms with insignia and things, gold braids with green and navy, very, very classic. And then I'm going to go for, it's maybe a bit corny, but it's something we need reminding of: shine, or, don't dull your sparkle, or remember to find your inner glitz, or, sometimes we are just a bit dull in our thoughts and dull in our actions. So this is a chance to bling it up. And also it's one page. So if it's something you're not naturally drawn towards, it's one page. Try it out. Try something. This is a stenciling paste. Oh, it's not open yet. It's a bow bunny, and you see it's a pearlescent, so it's a neutral bling. With bling, it's not the fact that you're adding color, it's the fact that you're adding texture and dimension to a page. So even swiping a wax or something over a page, the page has gained no weight or no element or nothing visual that you can necessarily identify, but looking at the page, this is still plain, you'd see just the little bit of flecks catching the light, and that's what's interesting with adding shine in whatever form to your page. In my opinion, also you can definitely mix metallics, so a copper and a gold can sit quite happily next to each other. These two I'm going to show you, they are done. I'm not going to show it to you on camera. These were foiled with it's called a Go Press and Foil. It's an add-on to a manual die cutting machine, and it's hot foiled. So it's a special type of foil, and you run it through your machine with either a stamp or a die or just as is, and it's flat on the page. So it's like embedded. And you can see that's a copper and that's a gold. And metallics or foils and things on vintage paper also. It's because you don't expect the one with the other. So those sort of things also interesting. With the techniques that I'm showing today, I'm aware that there are specialist products and things that you may not have. It's merely to show you the effects and for you to then say, oh, I'm interested in something like this, I'm not interested in something like this, and to expand some knowledge on products. I'm cutting out this label from the pack, and I'm going to gold leaf that. I need to start with that because gold leaf takes size, a special type of glue called size, and the size needs time to get tacky. So these are the gold leaf sheets. They're obviously not real gold, quite fragile. They just tear off in flakes, and they need a special glue. You do get gold leaf flakes or fragments in bottles. I see one of the craft brands sells them. I just have no idea which brand or what the pricing is. These sheets and things are generally, you can find them at not necessarily craft stores, but maybe finer art stores, Herbert Evans or Deckle Edge, some of the bigger P&As. And then I use gold leaf size, Dala, South African product, and you can see it's 37 Rand. I've used it for very long. A little goes a long way. So incredibly sticky, sticks to everything. Even when you finish sizing, I actually think, yes, this mat is still sticky from the last time I sized. So have something that protects work surfaces. Please understand that this page is going to be completely bonkers because I'm showing 3 million shiny things on one page. I'm going to stamp. It says own your dreams there, and I'm going to heat emboss the stamp. Now, heat embossing, as I discussed yesterday with the Santa hat, involves an ink. You get an embossing ink and a special type of powder. I'm going to open it. It's incredibly fine. It's basically little plastic particles, and then you need a heat gun or a heat tool to melt it, and then it gives you a shimmer. Heat embossing powders in a myriad of colors and finish and textures, and with glitter, without glitter. You can get clear ones, you can get thick ones, you can get distressed ones. So very, very wide range. Heat tool, you get a craft heat tool. Some people use the hair dryer, but I think the hair dryer needs to be on quite a high setting. I use an actual power tool heat gun. They are generally much more powerful, and they're generally actually cheaper than the craft stuff. That is very often the case, that the hardware equivalent of the craft thing is cheaper because mine's orange and not pink like some of the heat tools. So look out for that. Heat tools also very handy if you are doing mixed media, to dry your products and things between layers, to set certain inks instead of ironing. So it's a biggish investment, somewhere, I don't know, 300 Rand, 400 Rand, something like that. But if it's something that you're interested in, it serves you on the long term. So that's heat embossed. Even on the camera you can see the shine, but it's a very the color matches. I didn't stamp well because I didn't stamp on a flat surface because I'm going to do an overlap. So before I stick this down, I'm going to do an overlap and do that in a brighter color, like a black maybe, that it's an echo. I like repeating elements. I'll show the steps on camera. This is an embossing stamp pad. You need any stamp pad that will stay wet. The embossing stamp pads they're sort of oily, sticky almost. So, but the VersaFine, these ones also are very wet inks, so they'll catch the, but you see, you can't see. So now you pour your powder everywhere basically, if you're a purist, you would anti-static and you do some techniques, but... And then you leave it 5 seconds and knock off. So this one will just have a little corner, and then onto a page. So do you see the N is now because I'm going to overlap it and then I'm going to heat it up. So again, I didn't do it. I like that it's not a solid one, but there's a shine, and also when you touch it with heat embossing, this is now dry, there's a slight dimension, so you can feel it. So that's what have we done? One technique. I've run some bits of the size. You can maybe pick it up there. So just to foil later, and I've done a bit on the actual tippy corner of the words, and then this needs about half an hour for it to get tacky. It gets, if you put your finger, it's sticky. What else can we do? Shall we stencil? The stencil happens to say own your dreams, so I can just repeat it. You can stencil with an actual stencil paste like this, or you can stencil with a texture or a mixed media paste, which can be clear or white, and those pastes you can color with ink and things if you want a different color, or you can put glitter or anything like that in your paste. I'm going to do this, it's called Whisper. See how it is. It's like pearlized designs. Okay, I stencil with a palette knife. You just take a bit of the product and you smoosh it on. Stenciling can be as neat or as messy as you want it. It's just when you lift the stencil that you should take care to not then smudge it. So it doesn't take a lot of product, and I'm just smoothing it out and making sure I've got all the letters, and then you just pull it off. So again, that's a bit of shimmer on the page because it's a pearlized, but it's a neutral shimmer. So don't think when I'm talking about bling that everything has to be gold top to bottom. It is what I like, but it's not. There are many versions of bling. We then get to actual jewelry and charms and findings that are, by definition, they're shiny because they're metal. So this is it needs a picture or something, but I mean that's a very matte, again the key matte, but it picks up the light, so you don't need, it's not just glitter. Elements like this where you glitter a piece of something bigger, you can either do that with glitter glue, or you can just mix half water, half white glue, and put some of the fine glitter is the better glitter to put in, because the thick one tends to just gloop on if you paint it. So that's a nice way to add a bit of bling. This is a little glitter sticker, but you could also use, you get glitter washi tapes, so just as a highlight on something else. So even if you had a very, very neutral page, so don't be afraid. Also eyelets, good to add a bit of bling, and it's a matte bling. What did we use yesterday? Safety pins, split pins, so chains on dangles. So think about the range of metallics and the fact that they don't need to be gloss metallics, they can also be matte metallics. Next up, we're talking about waxes. I've got 2 waxes here. They are by Little Birdie. I love them. They are beeswax based, so when you open them, you get something like that, and you can use them on anything. So, for example, this is a matte wood chip element, so I'm going to repeat the bird. I did warn you in the beginning that I love birds. Something like there. This is still sized, so let's do a copper and green. So it's, you can do it with your finger or a rag if you prefer. And am I in frame? Just rub it on. And then I'm just going to, and it's really just a dab. I'm rubbing it into the word. You don't even have to do the whole thing. I'm just doing the bird perhaps. And this gives shimmer to paper. It ends up waterproof, I think. And the tins are somewhere around 50 Rand, and they come in various colors. They also come in a clear wax, so if you do furniture, chalk paints and things, I think you can use that. Some of these are so delicate, the shimmer, that you don't really, you can't maybe see it on camera. So that's a wax, metallic wax. Please be aware, the products that I am mentioning, I'm not sponsored by the products. I buy all my own products. I'm not paid to say I like them. And if I don't like a product, I will also say it, which brings us to the mousse, which is just what it says. But it's not a soft mousse. It's almost like the wax. I bought it recently. It's one of my newest acquisitions. This was expensive, just under 140 bucks, something like that. And I'm underwhelmed. It works supposedly just like the wax, or you're supposed to get the same effect. But again, you can use a cloth or your finger. And once it's on, it feels to me like you can't spread it, whereas the wax you can spread. And I also find it patchy, like you can't, I'm struggling to blend it. It's water-based, so you could add water, but for ease of use, I'm finding the wax is far less, I don't know, wasteful. I don't know, you can, the more you rub it, but once you've put too much in a spot, you can't undo it. So the color's good, the shimmer's good. It's like an eyeshadow, something like that. But I don't know, I'm not crazy about it. Actual trims, don't underestimate them, because tying your tag, for example, with a little bit of a gold shiny string adds a lot more than just something plain. And then the organza ribbons very often have some gold or silver threads in them. So also, even the gold, not the gold, just the organza ribbon has a shimmer due to the movement. So lots of options to add some shine to the page without you covering it like a mermaid Barbie page. Text, this was a Rosie's product. It's a sticker, but just one thing, it's not a lot, it's not your whole page, but don't discount, I think we can keep it at that, don't discount the power of shine on a page. I said that these are stickers, they're not actually, so if anyone has any good ideas on how to stick them without the glue being visible, please share that in the comments. My last product that's not like a pen or whatever are these Mica Flakes, and I've never used them, but they're also beautifully shiny, like little mirrors, but they don't seem to be sharp. It's almost like a crust. and you can just snap them by the looks of it, or crumble them. That's fascinating. You are learning with me. That's actually pretty. And then I don't know what to do with them next. I think like a snow or an ice thing would be good. Great for adding a translucent gleam in mixed media, scrapbooking and other projects. Adhere with silicone glue, decoupage glue or little birdie texture tack. Using mica flakes with clear drying glues preserve its translucent shines. Waterproof, heat resistance and easy to break. Okay, I don't think I have any of those glues. So I will try some Dala Jewel Bond, because if all else fails, that works. And then see, maybe just a sprinkling. This page is a bit disjointed. I'm not saying that it's a beautiful page or anything. It's really just a page showing techniques. I've now just sprinkled these mica flakes over the page, but I'm pretty much in love with them. They look like little stardust things because there's no colour, and it's a beautiful shine. So I need to do some research on how to properly use this product. It was something that caught my eye because it was shiny, and you can see my hands from it. So this will definitely feature. I left my gold leaf and I actually forgot about it, and I went off and did other things. But just to tell you that it basically, I mean, it's far longer than half an hour. It can't get too tacky. So what you do now is you just lay it over and you brush it off with a soft brush and save all of those flakes because they're quite useful again. Okay, as you can see, this page is bonkers. I don't think any sane person would add this much bling to a page. That's vinyl, mirrored vinyl. It cut so on my machine. I didn't get the settings quite right, and it had a funny layer on top which actually tore the vinyl, but now it's a bit messy. I've done like a swab of the mica flakes. I really like the look of it, so I'm going to definitely investigate to see how that looks. What haven't we used? Shimmer Sprays. You shake them, they shine. These ones are coloured but shimmery, and you spray them. Let's just do the gold. Spray in a box. It's called a spray booth. You can actually buy one. It's a box. Because the spray goes everywhere. Even if you think it doesn't, it goes everywhere. So you just need to shake it to get all the pigments and things. I'm just going to go for it. And then there's another layer. Inking with like a copper or a metallic. Also almost like a watermark. This is a Colour Box ink. They sit on top of the page. They don't seep in, which gives a very nice effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp the same message over and over again, even if it doesn't, it's not a complete message, and even if it goes over elements. You can, of course, have done this as a background, but I'm trying to save this page, and actually I should just probably leave it as a technique page. I also, these pens are good until they malfunction, and this one's on the malfunctioning stage. So what I do is I let it run, and then I throw it or shake it. So also, and you get quite thick. It takes a while to dry, but you get like quite thick, luxurious, just spots of gold. Okay, so I've literally thrown everything I own at this page. The only thing I haven't added is gold trim. But even for me, that may be actually, a step too far. So long and short of it, go as gold or as metallic or as shimmery or iridescent as what you feel comfortable with, but don't shy away from it purely because of the shine factor, because there are very many layers of shine, as I've shown on this page, with the most basic one being like probably that back one, your waxes, just stickers, and then you can go all out. I hope you're going to give it a go. I love shine, can you tell? Tomorrow, day 9, we're talking about green fingers. Do you have green fingers, or are you a cactus killer? And we're going to do some easy eco dye, or a version of eco dye, and just some leaf traces using some pressed flowers, that sort of thing, just bringing the outside into the journal a bit. I'm showing you the page in the journal because on its own it looks nuts. It's actually fine in the journal. I'm also surprised, but the background matches and the colors match, so you've only added, I'm not doing a pink page, so I've only added texture with the metallic and with the bling. I haven't brought in a new color at all. The colors have been in all the other pages. So, I mean, shall I zoom out? That's where it sits in the journal at the moment. It's, well, to me, it's actually perfectly okay. This font is maybe a bit modern for the whole farmhouse rustic, but otherwise, not too bad. That I surprised myself today, and it's something that I'm going to admit. I didn't think that this page would work in the journal. And I love it. It's actually one of my favorites so far. And I didn't know what I was doing. I knew what I was doing. I didn't know where I was going in the journal. And the colors are beautiful. There's actually nothing wrong with adding some bling to a supposedly rustic theme. So there you go, never too old to learn. Thanks for watching, and thanks for everyone starting to share their pages. It's really nice for me to know that I've got people watching and people participating and people enjoying the course. It means a lot to me. Bye-bye.